Welcome, weary traveler. You have stumbled across a comedy chronicle of cranial concoctions, a frenzied fusion of befuddled fables, an exacting expose on eclectic mythos. Should you brave ahead, you will find yourself enlightened, delighted, and only slightly misinformed on the many fantastical worlds that exist within our favorite media. Will you learn all there is to know? That I cannot say. But I can say it will be the lore you know.
So I watched like a clip of a movie on YouTube, and so YouTube is like, oh, you want to watch movie clips? Okay. So then I got like a million movie clips. But the point is I got the intro to Psycho, which I've never seen Psycho before. So, or is it American Psycho or whatever? The
They're
one with
two different ones.
The Here's Johnny one?
No.
No.
That's not either. That's The Shining. Fran.
Oh. I don't know movies.
No, the one
Hence
with
why I'm here.
The one with Batman in it, and
That's
then
American Psycho.
Yeah, and then
with the Hannibal Lecter one.
Yeah, with Hannibal Lecter,
okay.
and then so far off. The Silence of the Lambs, Fran. Anyway,
I don't know things, okay? That's why I'm learning.
All right.
That's
the whole point.
Anyway, I know about it, and it's about Batman, and he's a yuppie, so a young urban professional, and he's all about like, his high. He works in like a place that like our programmer friends work, except it was like the 90s, so that it wasn't really about programming. It was like he works at
Harry
like
Potter.
business work or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he goes to work to do business kind of thing. But it shows his like morning routine, and he's like, and then I take a refreshing Herbalize moisturizer and put it on both of my elbows. Then I brush my teeth first with a primary brush and then a secondary brush for my gums. Then I open up my cabinet and choose the various tinctures that I will put on my penis to make it supple yet firm. And then he like goes through his whole morning routine. Some of that's fake, but some of it's real. And then, but he's going through this whole thing, and it's like the movie is like framing this like he's a psychopath, like he's a literal psychopath, and he kills people, but he's also a yuppie.
Sounds kind of like just OCD.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the whole. The movie's about how like how young urban professionals are like, like hyper focused on themselves and their jobs and their careers, and they're not actually thinking about like anything but success. It's all about success. And like this movie is supposed to show that that's bad. Like he does that, and that's also
the social commentary.
Yeah, and he's also a serial killer. Like he is a sociopath, but like all these people like idolize him because they're like he's a rise and grinder kind of person. Like that's the whole point. Like he gets up. He's got his routine. He goes, he does business. He is successful in the eyes of society. Yeah. Like totally overlooking that the whole point of the movie is that he's also a serial killer, and he is actually a bad guy. But people always talk about wanting to be like that and like having that mindset. But what got to me about it is what got to me about it is that in the intro, he's like talking about his morning routine, and he's like talking about all this like stuff he does to keep his hard body and things like that. And I was like, this is so cringy. Like if a person actually did that, I would be like, that's so lame, dude. Like it's so pathetic. Like it's really sad. He's like, I can do 1,000 crunches. And it's like, all right, cool, dude. You're wearing an ice pack on your face because you think your eyes are puffy. There's
a lot of business bros that do this. But
I know.
Also I personally the idolization of that, whatever. But to be fair, I am surprised that this man can do all of this, rise and grind, get his work done, and then he has all this time for his hobby after work. Like this,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
'cause he
what blows
does-
my mind. He's still like he stopped. Does he actually stop working at 5 o'clock and then can go and do whatever the fuck he wants in the evening?
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
that's
his
why
job
people
is
idolize him,
generic
obviously.
businessman.
Yeah,
you
Right.
know,
like
so-
He has
everybody
he
works
like, gets-
overtime that's unpaid these days. This is ridiculous. So
He
yeah,
gets,
I
like-
can, I get it. I get it.
He gets like paid to take calls or whatever like
Yeah, no,
business
it's-
guys in the 90s did.
It's one of those things where it's like the biggest joke is also how much of his life of being a businessman has nothing to do with his job and is all about like, I need to get a reservation at this fancy restaurant because that will show that I'm an important person and therefore be good for my job.
Yeah.
But I have to say, CJ, I'm very proud of you that you actually got the like message that you were supposed to get from the opening, that he's a cringe freak. And
Yeah.
not just like, man, I need to really pull up
It's-
that routine.
It's like, I don't know. And then he's like, I drink this kind of milk because I am a silly boy and my tum-tum hurts if I drink it's like, it's
right,
it's
because my
stupid.
pores might react poorly to
Yeah,
the,
he does talk about his pores a lot. And then there's a picture of his ass. You see his ass in the shower, and you're like, damn, Christian Bale, I want to eat ice cream off of that.
Oh, okay. Now, if I
thought you were gonna
which movie
intro-
this was.
I thought
No.
you were going to intro the show, Fran. Why don't you
No,
intro the show that
I
we're
will
doing
in a
right now?
moment. Hold on, I'm just remembering what this is because of the meme. With
I'm
Christian
remembering
Bale.
Christian Bale's ass.
Yes,
One
yeah,
sec-
he's the
one
meme.
second. Give me time to
Oh.
remember Christian Bale's ass.
Welcome to The Lore You Know, a podcast where some friends dive at the fantastical and often convoluted lore of media that we grow up with and love, and teach Fran about movies that she's never seen. And here to bring you the mostly correct facts about made-up things this week are me, Fran.
Me, Ethan.
And I'm CJ. And I mean, I've never seen that movie either. I just saw the opening. I saw the opening clip on YouTube, and I've decided to judge this book by its cover. Like,
Well,
I get
you
it.
at least understood the references.
Do you
I
guys
couldn't even
do
figure
you-
out which movie it was.
Are you guys jaded like me to the point of
Yes.
you can't enjoy media because they'll like be trying to like make a statement or something, and then you'd be like, okay, I get it, and then you just zone out because you're like, I know, like I get what you're trying to say. I don't need a whole movie to be like, capitalism can be bad sometimes. Like I don't need the symbolism for 2 hours of like how, you know, the American dream is dead or whatever. Like I get it.
Mhm.
I mean,
I guess
I
it
think-
depends on if I'm in the mood to suspend my disbelief or not, which isn't usually.
I think it's just the sort of thing where you indulge so much media that is incredibly over the top and also referential to those things that
Hmm.
just having the thing laid out is boring for you.
Yeah.
But speaking of over the top media, I'm going to pull you in today because we're going to be talking about the Bayonetta series.
That's right.
Mm.
We shed our it was October 31st. We were at a maximum spookiness. I was just a skeleton. Ethan was an undead. I think Fran is some sort of like warlock wizard person, but then the date flipped over to I think Tuesday was because Halloween's on a Monday. Then it was like Tuesday, and then like all of my organs and muscles grew back, and Ethan just kind of became normal, and then
Woke
Fran
up.
lost all of Fran lost all of her magical. So we're no longer doing spooky content, but you know what? We'll wean the audience off a little bit with some witch content.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't
Ooh.
Bayonetta fight monsters also?
I mean,
She
she
fights
fights
it's not.
angels.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, angels
and demons.
and
Yeah.
oh, see the demons part. That's the part I was remembering.
It's
So like it's
both. She's-
tangential.
Yeah, we'll talk, but she's a witch, Fran.
Okay, I
Mhm.
just
But yeah, we're-
know that I watched this on like X Play back in the day,
Okay,
Yeah,
hell
absolutely.
yeah.
absolutely. But
This
yeah,
this is
or Tech
this was
TV, depending.
nice.
we're gonna slowly just kind of push on Halloween. I've decided if Christmas is going to take all of its aggression and try and just like take over Thanksgiving time, why should we, the Halloweeners,
Halloweenies is the
the
correct
Halloweenies,
term.
why should we, the
That's a movie.
Halloweenies, just like say, oh, well, we can't go into November. That's Thanksgiving time. No, let's push right up to like the 23rd or something, you know?
No, well,
we'll take that whole chunk of time.
Well, it's different because it's like after Christmas, people aren't still doing Christmas stuff. Like it would be more, we would have to celebrate Halloween in like August, and then
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
just
this-
pushing up
keep
to
it going.
Labor Day.
This is a
That seems
direct
reasonable.
stance of aggression that
Oh,
I'm
I
taking.
see. You're encroaching on the you're drawing the line in the sand and taking what belongs to the Crimbus folks.
Exactly.
Fuck you, Father Christmas, you jolly bitch. We're coming for you. Are we gonna talk about controversy? That's what the internet's talking
Is
about.
it
I
because
wasn't-
she's a woman in a spandex suit with a whip?
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah. And they're like,
controversy?
women can't have big fat floppy boobos and a big clingy ass. No, that's not the controversy. Although I'm sure there was some controversy about that at one point, but
yeah, women in bikinis or lack thereof is what we're gonna be talking about.
But she's not. But she has a bodysuit on though.
Does she, Fran? Does she, Fran? Oh, Fran, you don't.
She has one on.
You don't know anything.
I don't.
Bayonetta's
I don't.
nude, Fran. She's not wearing any clothes.
But her bits aren't showing.
That's
we're
what you think.
getting ahead of ourselves.
All right, Ethan. Well, then get a
all right
behind that.
We'll come back to Bayonetta's clothes or lack thereof. But first, I want to talk about the creator, Hideki Kamiya, because he's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he's a legend.
And he has he's actually in a little bit of the stuff that we were just recently covering, because he first started his career doing the Resident Evil series.
Oh.
He was the planner for the first game and then the director for Resident Evil 2.
He probably should have stuck around for 6, but
yeah, I mean,
might have been helpful.
If 6 is a little more in his style, honestly, because he's not that like serious mood, like serious deep tone kind of thing that Resident Evil was going for early in the day.
Yeah, it was really hammy. All of those games were. I mean, they were based on
that's
like
part of the delight of the 90s and
right.
early
They were all.
video
It was
games,
all
right?
based on like
all
horror
the campy
movies.
bullshit.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It was
Yeah.
like monster.
That was the whole point.
But wow.
But yeah, so Hideki Kamiya was originally a lead for making Resident Evil 4, and he started to make this game about, it was like back to Resident Evil roots. There was a guy who got lured to a secluded castle, and there were scary, like, monstery things there. But the catch for this game is that the main character was supposed to have superhuman powers, kind of like Wesker did, right? Where he's like Neo fast and stuff like that.
So like
but-
Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Not like a mold man, but
Fortunately,
I
not
guess-
a mold man.
But the thing is that as development went on, Hideki kept making his main character cooler and cooler until he no longer fit like the Resident Evil series. And so they took this game that was supposed to be Resident Evil 4 and they just made it into a different series, and it became Devil May Cry, which Devil May Cry is like all about not just cool, but like
That's like,
over the top.
way-
like
perhaps-
machine gun swords and
Perhaps
shit, right?
way past cool would be a better.
Perhaps way past
Killing
cool.
monsters with motorcycles, right?
Killing
happened in that
monsters
game?
with motorcycles, like defeating bosses and then turning them into nunchucks that you
Yeah.
wield to beat
Okay.
other bosses. that
Wild
kind of
bullshit.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, he goes, I was supposed to be the one to fill your dark heart with light. That's one of the lines. I did it exactly.
God.
If you look up that scene,
It was so
I
perfect,
believe you.
CJ.
It was a
I
one-to-one.
look forward to learning more about Devil May Cry later.
Okay, well,
So-
guess you. Okay. I guess that's what this episode's about now.
Maybe we'll get to that at a different time. But
Next spooky month.
After Devil May Cry, he created the Beautiful Joe series, which
wow,
took
he just wow.
Yeah, he took that same over the top cool thing, but then was like, what if I make it even more over the top cool to the point where it's a parody of what is already nearly a parody of over the top coolness?
This guy seems fun.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. He's very strange. So at this point, I want you to imagine like a Bollywood movie that is taunting other Bollywood movies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the level that Beautiful Joe is at, where it's over the top cool and not meant to be taken seriously, but internally within its own logic is taking itself very seriously.
Sounds like quality content right there.
Plus, he also he made what it was like the Fantastic 100 or some shit like that.
Wonderful 101.
Yeah, which was the same. It was like the same thing, but it was like it's like Pikmin kinda. You play as a group of heroes, and then the heroes will like. They all have like special moves, but like all of the heroes, all of the 101 are like all supposed to be like unique heroes. Like they're all superheroes, but you control them as one big unit. So instead of there being like any specific character traits, they're all literally just blended together into like one big blob. And then all of your attacks are like you morph. If you have like 10 dudes, you can like push them together to make a sword. And then you like slap with a big 10-person sword, or if you've got like 50 people, then you can make like a big bulldozer or whatever out of them, and then it will like
seems like
bulldoze
a wild
the
game.
enemies. So yeah, the game was you like collected a big cloud of people, and then you would turn those people into big attacks, like morph them into an attack. It's pretty radical.
This is the kind of like weird stuff that he does.
Rules.
And all of these games that we're talking about are considered classics, but they were also like less and less financially successful as time went on.
They got more and more niche.
Was pretty not well received.
So Hideki Kamiya and his whole studio ended up getting dumped by Capcom, the publisher. And so it's at that point they made their own studio and publishing, Platinum Games, and decided we're going to take all of the stuff that Hideki normally does, and we're going to take it up another notch with this series, Bayonetta. And so Bayonetta, it's a game series that it puts together the style of Devil May Cry, the over-the-top goofiness of Beautiful Joe, and then it adds in very weird style of eroticism.
I think it's a pretty normal style of eroticism.
Is
but
it
whatever.
weird? It's just she has like a whip, glasses.
It's weird.
I'm gonna get into it. It's weird.
Yeah,
okay.
It's weirder than you think. If you actually play the
on
game,
on the surface, it seems like pretty conventional.
I mean, she is big. Like she is big mommy. Like she, you want to be like, like, but it's weirder than that even, and that's pretty normal, I think. So,
okay, so
okay,
I can't engage with that. Like,
you could, but you refuse.
I did. Yes, I absolutely refuse. I'm the one who chose this topic, and I still refuse. But who is Bayonetta? So Bayonetta is this lady who wakes up in a coffin in the early 2000s. She was like buried underground for who knows how long. And she's like, she's got amnesia because of course. And all she remembers is that she is a witch and witches like guns, and that she has this special magical watch. And
I can't imagine she was buried for that long if she has an affinity for guns. since from before she was buried.
You'd think it's been a hot
Fran,
second.
these are demon guns though. These aren't
Oh,
normal
I'm
guns.
sorry. Is that how humans figured out how guns work? Is they found demons with guns? And
Maybe.
they're like, we can
Is that-
reverse engineer this.
Is that like how people think that microwaves came from outer space? They're like aliens came down and they had like a microwave on their ship or whatever for popcorn, and then we found one and we were just like, oh, this shit rules.
That's what I learned from Men in Black, right? Is that we got all of our technology from aliens.
Yeah, that's probably how it worked.
Yeah.
I don't believe it specifies the origin of guns, whether that is special to the witches, but it does specify that witches have an affinity for firearms.
Mhm.
That's like just that,
It
like,
just
you
is.
know, yeah, you know how like witches are associated with brooms? It's like same thing. Witches are associated with guns.
Mhm.
That just
Okay.
is.
It's very useful for killing things, so that's why they use it.
And so she has these two major kinds of magic that she can use. One of them is bullet time. I think it's called witch time or something, but it's Matrix Neo bullet time, right?
Yeah, and it's
She
what
can-
Which time?
ruined Super Smash Brothers.
She can slow down time as like projectiles or attacks and such are coming at her, and it allows her to, you know, beat the crap out of people and also do ridiculous Bollywood scenes like jumping off of bullets midair and things like that.
It's also really
And-
funny because there's a lot of puzzles where you need to like enter bullet time, but you can only enter bullet time if you like dodge an attack right before it hits you. So to do that, to like do the puzzle, you have to like trigger a thing that hits you and then dodge it. Otherwise, you because there's no like button to do bullet time. You have to like you got to react.
Yes, one of the first I think like the intro to using bullet time is there is this, you need to get across this body of water. There is a statue that you are supposed to improperly pray to so that lightning comes down to strike you. You dodge the lightning, activating bullet time so that you can walk on water because time has slowed down.
Yeah, it's very
Huh.
silly, but it's a really cool
Seems
game
like
mechanic.
Some really fun, intricate puzzle work.
I mean, it's an action. It's like a beat 'em up action game.
Yeah.
So it's
There's
a good
there's
mechanic.
a little bit of puzzle here and there.
There's a little puzzle.
But so she's got bullet time, but then she also has wicked weaves. So
yeah.
basically,
Yeah. Tell us, Ethan.
she has a pact with a powerful demoness,
Who doesn't?
and right, she can summon that demoness's fists and feet into our world to attack her enemies.
And-
they just kind of like
and feet.
launch. Yes.
Oh.
They're like, and these are huge, right? She summons like the fist is like 15 feet across, you know?
I thought you said it was a
Um,
fist, not a foot.
It's both.
As soon as I read that in my notes, I was like, CJ won't let that go.
That's funny.
The conduit, this is the important part, Fran.
Mhm.
The conduit for this demon summoning is Bayonetta's hair.
Is that why it's so tall
Her-
and ponytaily?
Yeah, so her hair disappears into Inferno, which is just like another name for hell, proportional to how much power she is summoning. And the thing is, that thing that looks like skin tight leather that she's wearing, Fran,
Uh-huh.
that is all made out of her hair.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because she
That's
needs
all-
her hair.
What?
She needs a lot of
Is it
hair.
connected to her head?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
It's live hair. Living hair.
Ew.
I mean,
That sounds
Yes.
uncomfortable.
well,
Like, I
it's-
have a
so-
lot of hair, but I wouldn't want it down my skin.
Well, I mean, I guess, so third magic that she has, she's got Neo Bullet Time, she's got Wicked Weaves, and also she's got turn her hair into a skin-tight leather suit.
yeah. So
But
when she
you-
uses her abilities, Fran, and her hair goes to hell, and her clothes are made of hair,
Oh.
then
Her clothes start to
then you see her big fucking baps and butt because she's not wearing clothes anymore, Fran. You can see
I guess she never
everything.
was.
Exactly.
She never was.
She's naked,
yes.
technically.
It has a lot of those scenes where
Yes.
she, uses the full power attack, and all of her hair comes off except for like a little strand to cover across the breasts
Her
and
nips.
or
The
cooter.
boo-boos. But she's an exhibitionist. She likes to strut and be seen and show off her big ass.
Yes, I need you to understand this game is so aesthetically sexual while also being gross enough to make fun of those kind of themes. But yeah, as CJ was alluding to with his feet,
Mm.
it is one of her primary finishing moves is she'll do a combo attack and then summon this gigantic demoness's high-heeled foot to crush her enemy like a
Oh.
big mom. Yes.
Hmm.
Bayonetta
Grind
is
them
a
into the dirt.
dominatrix.
Yeah. Well, she has a lot of like combo moves where she can like summon stuff and like and they're all like torture things, but they're like
How
the
did
sexy kind of torture
Nintendo-
ones.
How did Nintendo let her in to Smash Brothers?
Because
It's a very popular series.
Because Mario's like, oh, I'm Chris Pratt and I want to see some big mommy fucking titties flapping in my face.
But yeah, no, they did a vote. They were like, it was at the end of Smash 4, I think. They said, we'll put in whatever video game character you guys vote for if we can get their developers to agree.
Oh,
And
that's a slippery slope.
people voted en masse for Bayonetta.
Oh.
But yeah, as CJ said, a lot of her finishing moves are torture techniques that are also very sexual.
Yeah,
so
there's the pull you one where you're like
Was
your arms
she
and
the
legs
root?
are pulled. What is that one? It's like it make you taller, I think.
Is she the root of many teenage / I
Sexual
guess
awakenings?
now
Almost
millennial?
certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little late in the game for millennial awakenings, but next gen, like I'm
No,
sure
this came out when
absolutely.
I was a teenager, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is like the
Yeah.
mid-teen years there.
What
I
I'm
don't know
saying
how
is
many.
like the now millennials, they were teenagers when this came out. Therefore,
Yeah, we were kind of at the
It
end of
triggered
it though,
them.
so
Oh yeah, no, I guess you're imagining teenagers. I'm imagining there were definitely like 8-year-old boys who picked up this game even though they
Oh.
shouldn't have, and were like,
yeah.
"Oh, now I am a different being than I was before I played this."
all according to
Those are the
Hideki's plan.
young millennials.
Yeah. But yeah, so her finishing moves are like she has Big Mommy Demoness crush people under her high heels. She repeatedly whips their asses until they submit and explode. There is
What?
Yeah.
there's a particular finisher where she chains the enemy in rope play fashion and ties them to a BDSM sawhorse and makes them moan until they blow up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What is she fighting in this game?
Demons,
That does
So-
this?
She is
angels.
primarily fighting angels.
Are they
and-
humanoid?
Hell yeah, they
So
are.
angels have a very very interesting styling in this game because
yeah.
angels they look like biblically accurate angels who are wearing masks and armor that are styled to look like more family friendly Christian artwork angels.
But there's like huge bosses that have like 100 hands and 1,000 eyes kind of thing. But then like the regular things you fight are like cherubs and you know, just like regular winged angels, that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. And it's the kind of thing where you'll see this little cherub creature that has like a stone mask that looks like a Da Vinci painting of a cherub, but then as you beat on it, like you break the mask and you see that there's just like 1,000 eyes and the truth of the world behind that mask, and it's like, ew, gross.
Ugh. Put this
So-
thing in a Iron Maiden.
I'm trying to
Sexy.
visualize it, but I don't have much of a sense of what biblical angels look like. So just I'm googling. Hold on.
They look very scary. You can't Google images, Fran. We have to describe it with our words. That's what a podcast is.
Well, these
I mean,
pictures aren't helping me a whole lot. So if that makes you
okay,
feel any
well,
better.
maybe we'll throw up a couple of those pictures on Twitter at Spices Live.
Oh my God!
Are we doing Twitter anymore?
Yeah.
Did Musk
yeah, are
ruin
we
that
leaving?
now?
Are
you
we
gonna pay $20 a month for that blue check mark?
Oh yeah, I was
what?
gonna pay $2,000 a month for it, but he graciously brought it down to $8. So yeah, I don't fucking know.
Does anybody else hear squeaking?
Yeah, it's my fucking cats.
Okay, that's why I'm like, what is this noise?
My cats are playing with their toy, which has a squeaker in it, but it's not like an actual squeaker. It's like a sound chip that makes squeaking sounds. So like even if you like touch it, you don't have to like squeeze on it. You just move it and then it goes squeak, 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 squeak for some fucking reason. Some sociopath was like, the squeaker exists and it's perfectly okay by itself, but I'm gonna do this instead.
Gotcha.
It's
so when
psychotic.
people cosplay Bayonetta,
Yeah.
has anybody actually made a suit out of human hair to
No,
cosplay?
that's-
I certainly hope not.
That's impossible, Fran. That's not real.
It's not impossible.
It is impossible to have that much. Do you know
Nah.
how much cloth you need to weave into like a shirt?
A lot.
I feel
but
like
I think you're
it's-
underestimating how much women like lose their hair. Like it is
It's
constant.
a very, very
you don't
specific.
take it has to be attached to your head at that point. Like you don't lose the hair. It
Oh.
has to grow
Well, I
to
just-
that length.
Oh, see, I'm just saying
I
to
don't
like
know.
just take the hair as it falls out as you brush it.
Why
and, like,
would you
use it to
do
weave
that
into your
if you
body.
if you're
Yeah.
gonna
Make
make
a
it out of if you're just
character
gonna make it
cosplay.
not attached to your body, just wear leather? Why would you
Well, no.
take your
So you
own
would
hair?
you would make your own hair, make the suit, and
That's-
then like incorporate it into your
I-
existing hair.
I'm
that
gonna
is
go
I
ahead
have-
and say no
for,
one's
like,
ever
no,
done
no,
cosplay
no.
that.
accurate costume.
Yeah, I have to say, Fran, it's a very specific cosplayer who wants to play such a super sexy character, but wants to do it
Wants to
in
look
such an
stupid.
accurate and unsexy way that makes everyone kind of gag a little bit when they look at her. Like,
I don't think hair is that gross. Like I'm not like I'm not
you can
fetish
literally clean
for it. Yeah, like if you're at a restaurant and you find a hair in your soup, do you ask for a new soup?
Sometimes.
it depends on the hair.
Yeah.
What if it's red hair?
Oh,
Red.
No.
No, you just
I
pick it out
just
and eat it.
realized
It's fine.
I have another question for you because I don't know what it is. You referenced a BDSM sawhorse.
Yeah. So there's this.
Is it a sawhorse?
So there's
or...
this. It's like so you know what a sawhorse is? Like it's a little.
I'm
thing-
aware of a sawhorse. Yes.
Or like a pommel horse in gymnastics. Well, you put it so that it's
is
a
that
little
the
bit.
two handle with a bar? And,
Yeah,
Like, it's a men's gymnastics thing.
Yeah, but you can like straddle it like
You
a
can, like,
horse.
Yeah,
could,
and
like, sit on it like a
swing your
horse.
legs around and
Right.
stuff.
So
Okay.
it's that, but it's slightly taller than where your crotch normally is. So then when you sit on it, your legs
Okay.
don't quite reach the ground, and so it's grinding up on your body weight is on your pussy. And then you like
I thought-
grind
wait.
you like grind on it, and then you can like pull on the legs to like make it have more pressure, and it makes you come.
Okay. I guess I wasn't envisioning.
And
that
so
these
if you
angels
get
had
a really fancy
Um,
one, if you get a really fancy setup, you can like tie
mean-
ropes to your legs and then
I
pull
was
down on the
envisioning-
ropes on the legs.
I was not
on the
envisioning
pommel
these
horse.
angels having vaginas, I guess.
Well, we
As-
don't know that
as
they
long
do,
as-
but I mean that's
As
But
long
they-
as we're doing this
they
part
moan
that we
until
are
they
definitely
explode.
going to cut out, how about you just like Google the Bayonetta sawhorse?
we're not
and
gonna
you can
cut.
just-
We're not gonna cut this out. I can tell you all of the BDSM stuff that you want to know, Fran.
I don't know if I want to know anymore. Okay, I want to ask more questions.
That's the whole point of the show is teaching you things that you don't want to know.
God, it's so many. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ethan didn't say this, but he called it the finishing move. It's not called that, Fran. In the game, when you're fighting a huge
No.
monster and you kill it, your finishing move is called your climax move.
Oh my fucking god. Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah, you climax on them.
Okay.
This game rules,
I
Fran.
don't.
This game's awesome.
I need a stuffed animal to hide my face behind. Oh God. Okay.
You're playing as a sexually empowered woman who gets to grind angels under her feet. If this isn't what feminists want, I don't know what they want.
Okay.
This is
Oh my
nonsense. This is amazing.
Okay. I'm fine.
We haven't
right.
even got
I'll
to
learn
the
more.
we haven't even got to the plot. These are just the things that
We haven't.
happen.
I know. I didn't even get
Okay.
to the plot.
Okay, so Bayonetta is looking for her past. She's been out of this coffin for 20 years. She still has amnesia. Her biggest clue is this big jewel that she has in her watch. She's done some looking, some searching, and she's found out it's called the left eye of the world, and apparently it has a match, the right eye of the world.
Wow.
Crazy.
Makes
right?
sense.
Yeah.
So she's able to track the right eye to this city called Vigrid, and there she starts to uncover a lot of secrets from her past. These take the form of 3 characters that she's going to meet. One of them is Jean, and she is a mysterious lady who has all of the same powers as Bayonetta and seems to know who Bayonetta is, even though Bayonetta doesn't recognize her at all.
Mm-hmm.
She is similarly in a leather suit, except this one's red leather.
Does she
And
have red
also-
hair?
No.
She's got white hair, so
Well,
I don't
then
know
how
how
did
that
she?
works.
Okay.
It just works. That's
Fran.
again, they have turn hair into leather magic.
Also, Bayonetta's is kind of purplish sometimes too, so it's not like
That's just because when you have dark enough black hair, and sometimes gets the
it looks
blue and-
purple. I don't think that's how that works, Fran. I don't
It's
think
just
I
video
don't think
game
you
shading.
add black to black and you get purple somehow.
She meets Jean, who keeps teasing that she knows more about her past than Bayonetta does.
But not telling
She
her
meets,
anything.
but
Mhm.
not telling her nothing. She meets Cereza, who is this little girl who is convinced that Bayonetta is her mother. And it's kind of weird because on the one hand, she looks a lot like Bayonetta, and Bayonetta has amnesia. But also Bayonetta has been awake for 20 years, and this girl is like 8.
Mm.
So something's strange there.
Also,
And
there's a reason that Bayonetta is a MILF and not any other kind of sexual deviancy, because she's got a little girl running around being like, mother, mother. She has a little British accent. Mother,
no, mummy.
mommy, mommy. That's me following Bayonetta.
I guess I hadn't considered her in the MILF category.
She
until
is
just
a
this
I mean,
MILF.
she's
Okay.
a dominatrix.
Yeah.
She's a MILFamatrix. Milfatrix.
Okay. So we've got those 2, and then she also has this mysterious voice that comes down like, Christ speaking to his followers and tells Bayonetta that she's gonna be okay and he'll be sure to keep her safe. And while
Okay.
Bayonetta's learning a little bit about her past, let's learn a little bit more about the history of this world.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the beginning, all of creation was split into 2 worlds, light and darkness,
Mm-hmm.
Just like in Kingdom
This-
Hearts.
just like in Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
This went horribly. Those 2 worlds went to war and destroyed each other. So, let's try it again. We destroy that universe. We make a new universe.
Mhm.
All of creation was split into 3 worlds: light, darkness, and chaos.
Mm.
Earth is chaos. There's a paradiso, which is light, and there is inferno, which is darkness.
Fran,
Okay.
you're caught up. You caught up on the divine comedy, right?
I'm aware of it. Yes, there's like this. How many
I'm-
circles of hell in
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno or whatever?
Yeah, this is all like Dantean, like heaven and hell kind of setup.
Okay,
And
I
so
only know
it's-
as much as Wikipedia.
So
because
heaven's called Paradiso.
Okay.
I love the part of Dante's Inferno where he's like, and this is the 6th realm where you get stepped on by a big mommy because you were naughty.
Because you were a naughty boy in life. Yeah, you were. Wait, is that heaven or hell? Which I forgot.
So there's this chaos god named Acer, and he rules over the world of chaos. He rules over the earth. He's called the Overseer because literally the way that he sees the world is the way it is. So Acer watches over the world for a few millennia.
Just like Republicans.
Well, maybe he's a little more liberal because he feels really bad that humans are kind of like so lame and just like close to animals themselves. And so he plucks out his eyes and gives them to humans so that they can create their own fates, so that they can make the world they want to see.
Ooh. Hope he realized that was a pretty good mistake.
It's not great.
That's not good.
We have one group called the Lumen Sages. They're a bunch of like Christian-esque priest dudes, and they get the right eye of light. And then we have the Umbra Witches, which they are a hot girls only BDSM clan, and they get the left eye of darkness.
They're still, they do the thing where they're like dressed up like nuns, but they're like sexy nuns, and then they like take their habits off, and then they like, you know, sexy.
Yeah, I mean all black, of course, but
Right.
yeah, they do have like leather nun mommy thing going on.
Yeah,
on a slight tangent, nuns
Impossible.
came up in my grad class the other week. I had to roleplay a nun in an interview.
Oh, that's so hot.
Yeah, that's good.
And I didn't know how to, but like the person who was like interviewing me didn't realize I was a nun.
Was this an improv? Are you taking an improv class, Fran?
Improv
This
class.
sounds like a comedy bit.
The issue is I don't know how nuns work. And so
Beat
I
the
just
shit
know they're
out
at
of
a
the
convent.
interviewer with a ruler.
I thought nuns, like, I knew that nuns can retire from being a nun, kind of, because I had nuns as neighbors at one point. So I thought, like, when they were done nunning, they just, like, stopped doing church. I don't know. Stopped being nuns.
Stop going to church.
I don't know. I don't know how
I
nuns
renounce
work.
my nunship.
And in the conversation, I referenced that they come from a nunnery, which apparently is not what it's called, and it's just what my father called it growing up.
Yeah, did he say, I'm gonna send you to if you kiss any of those boys, I'm sending you to a nunnery?
No, in the city I grew up in, there was this random like monastery in the middle of like part of the downtown area that you had to like do a big loop around. And he would just reference it as the nunnery. So I just kind of assumed that's where nuns were.
Where are you from? What is this lore of your life that you're crap? It's like, did you grow up in like the hills of Mongolia? And like, yes, back at home there was one mission that was in the middle of the whole town. All the nuns would congregate there.
I'm just here to say that I was laughed at a little bit because I didn't know how nuns work too. I didn't know nuns had jobs. I thought they were just nuns.
How would they make
Apparently
money?
Nuns can have jobs.
Yeah.
I assumed they were just taken care of by God and the church. Because churches get
God
tithings
provides for those who provide for themselves, which
I didn't know nuns had jobs. And they like
once
can
you're
go
a
to
level
school.
3 nun.
then you don't need to eat or sleep anymore. I thought that was like a level 12 nun, but yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's a very good class.
It's a good
So
class.
yeah, I learned that it's not called a nunnery, and I learned that nuns can have jobs and they can retire from those jobs and still help out at the church, but they don't have to live at the church. Also, so I don't know. I learned a lot about nuns the other week. So
Nice.
tangent.
Well, I'm going to teach you about a very different kind of nun right now.
Cool ones.
As far as I know, it could all be the same ones. I don't know. Are these at nunneries?
Nuns can probably be strippers too. I'd imagine a lot of strippers dress like nuns.
We're getting dangerously close to just like quoting the Monty Python Holy Grail movies.
So that's I try to explain to
a man has come. You must punish us all and give us all a good spanking.
So that's legitimately the only reference I have about nuns in my mind is that part of Monty Python, and also like Halloween costumes of what they look like. So I assumed they wore habits all the time. I was told that's not the case.
So, I mean, at some places it's like a monk, Fran. Monks are.
I don't know anything about those either.
Well, yeah, but you can have like a Friar Tuck monk from like, Robin Hood, or you can have like a Kung Fu monk from a Kung Fu monk movie. There's a lot of kinds of monks.
There's still monks in Christianity?
Yeah.
Is that a thing that still exists?
That's like the Friar Tuck monks.
Yeah,
those are English monks. They craft beers, Fran.
Yeah, do they? So if nuns are at the nunnery, is there a monkery as well? Like
yes.
where the monks hang out?
It's a monastery.
It's monastery.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah, they're not as big of a thing anymore because one of the biggest thing that monks used to do would be copy down sacred texts, and now we just have printing presses.
They were scribes. Goddamn Gutenberg ruined the whole fucking economy with his bullshit.
So yeah, that's just Fran doesn't know what nuns are. That's all.
That's okay. That's maybe better for this.
Not for nothing. Nothing.
So these Umbra witches are nunning it up. They get an eye.
Yeah. All right.
Now we're back in. Yeah.
We've got the Lumen Sages and we have the Umbra Witches. And for all of human history, things are going swell enough until 500 years ago. We have this Lumen Sage named Balder, and he gets the mega hots for an Umbran witch named Rosa.
Fair.
Okay? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it took this long to happen, honestly.
Dude.
They fall in love. They have a forbidden baby because those groups are not supposed to mix. And at that point, everybody's so mad about like the barriers being broken down and all of that. We have a clan war between these two groups.
Why do I feel like this is a commentary on the current political situation in America?
This game is a commentary on nothing.
This game is a commentary on sexual fantasies, I guess, if anything.
Sexual empowerment, Ethan. It's empowering.
Right, that one. So Balder gets exiled from the Lumen Sages. Rosa gets imprisoned by the Umbra Witches. And both sides start summoning their representative angels and demons. It's a big, long fight.
Are these humans?
They're like superhumans.
Because I thought the whole idea is that the Chaos guy felt pity and then gave him these things. So I guess it's...
Yeah, so human beings all have free will, but the Lumen Sages and the Umbra Witches are special because they are the clans that guard the eyes, and they also make pacts with angels and demons.
From Inferno and Paradiso.
Paradiso, yep. So the Lumen Sages get a lot of power from their pacts with the angels, where they become servants to the angels. The Umbra Witches get a lot from their pacts with demons, where they can do whatever they want. They don't become servants to the demons, but as soon as they die, their souls belong to the demons.
It really just seems like this Chaos realm just turned into a proxy for the light and darkness to fight each other.
Fran, that's nonsense.
That's just me.
You're silly.
So... they have this big, long clan war, and the Umbra Witches win. Ooh. Strangely, the big, scary ladies with demons and guns do better.
With an affinity for guns.
But Balder, at this point, is pretty upset. He convinces all of the regular people of the world that witches are scary, and so... with a little help from the angels of Paradiso, regular humans start a witch hunt.
That's kind of dick move to call a witch hunt on the woman you had a baby with.
Fran, where have you been? That's what you do. We were just talking about this. You make the women have your baby, and then you call them a witch, and have everyone get her. Get her.
That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, that's Christianity, baby.
So... There's not many Umbra Witches left. It was a hard clan war, and they're weakened already, and the angels are helping the humans, so they are able to almost completely wipe out the Umbra Witches. We've got some of the last of them are Jean and her bestie Bayonetta.
Mm.
And Jean decides that Bayonetta is kind of a wimp and won't be able to survive this coming witch hunt. So she seals Bayonetta away in this coffin to protect her.
Okay.
And Bayonetta comes out 500 years later, and so now here we are.
Okay. Makes sense.
So we find out that voice in Bayonetta's head, that's Balder.
How the fuck do you get in there?
He's got magical powers because he has
Apparently
the right
a
eye
very
of light.
long lifespan.
Yeah, the pacts with angels and demons, they just give you a very long lifespan. Bayonetta has been sealed away, but Balder and Jean, they've just kind of been hanging out for 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Balder, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I don't think you can die of old age if you are part of these groups. I think you just die from getting stepped on by a demon or something like that. Like,
So they're like elves in Tolkien,
Yeah,
where
pretty much.
you live forever unless
you die, yeah.
Sort of. I mean, Baldur's has definitely aged over these 500 years. He looks kind of like an old dude, but also he's 500 years old, so I mean, it's like,
Yeah, don't need to be
who
rude.
knows? Maybe they're more like D&D elves where they just have an 800-year lifespan.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I mean, Jean's also been around for 500 years, just hanging around,
And she looks hot as
she's
ever.
just a hot mommy. So
So
difference
Baldur
between
is
demons and angels right there.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I guess. Baldur's heaven bent on collecting both of the eyes of the world
Mhm.
and reviving the creator of the original universe, Jubileus. He says, our world is corrupt and shitty.
Mm.
We're going to do this
Whose fault is that?
whole recreate. No. We're going to do this whole recreating the universe thing a third time. Third time's the charm. And how about we just do one world and we just do light and that'll be fine.
Mm.
fun, exciting
Mm.
world.
Seems a little flawed, but all right.
What part of that plan seems flawed?
He doesn't get to be stopped on by women in heels anymore. Like
That
Yeah.
part seems really
seems like a
flawed
big
to me.
sacrifice.
That is true. You are correct, Fran. I don't.
there's
wanna
a reason
live,
why he had a
I
baby
don't
with a
want to
woman.
live in a world where I can't be stepped on by big high heeled. Her high heels are guns, by the way, Fran. That's why she steps.
I
on
did know
people.
that
Yeah,
because I've seen clips of her like swinging her leg around and shooting people.
yeah. So
That seems
she's-
pretty fucking cool.
Absolutely.
So she steps on them and then blows their brains out. Is why she does that.
All right.
Radical.
I have to explain this part real slow and just
Should I take notes on
Try-
this part specifically?
you should try to follow along with me and see if
Oh,
you
God.
can. But
Oh, God. Okay. I'm
so
ready.
Bayonetta thinks that the left eye of darkness is that gem in her watch, but
Okay.
Baldur explains to her that the eye is actually a person from those clans who embodies the principles of the light and darkness.
It's like
Bal-
the friends are the journey you had along the way are bullshit.
the
Yeah.
gems are the journey that you had along the friends.
Yep.
So Baldur has the right eye of light, and Cereza, the little girl, will awaken to having the left eye of darkness.
This all
Baldur
seems like
ca-
bullshit, but okay.
Baldur captures Cereza, who is his daughter from back then. All right?
Okay.
He's going to awaken her powers and then use both of their eyes to awaken Jubileus, the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Bayonetta is able to defeat Baldur, saves Cereza, and teaches her to be a big girl who can stand up for herself.
Okay. All right. Seems reasonable so far.
Okay. Cereza then gets sent back in time because fuck you idiots. Cereza is Bayonetta from the past. Bayonetta is that forbidden Lumen Umbra love baby.
Okay. Kind of saw that one
Bayonetta
coming.
has taught Cereza confidence, so she stands and fights with Jean instead of being sealed away.
Uh-huh.
That happening doesn't affect our universe because fuck you, time travel is also multiverse travel.
Cool.
But it means that Cereza in her universe embodies the left eye of darkness.
Okay.
Apparently, when somebody embodies the eye, they do so across the multiverses. So by making Cereza embody the left eye of darkness, it has also made our Bayonetta embody the left eye of darkness.
Nice. So
This
Okay.
was Baldur's plan all
this
along.
is a good plan. This
But
is
she
very
killed
smart.
Baldur in our
He's
universe.
playing 5D chess over here.
Baldur was playing dead, and as soon
course
as
he was.
Bayonetta is awakened, he captures Bayonetta and they both shoot out into space on a giant rocket that looks like a church steeple.
Okay, pause. All right, we're pausing. So how did Cereza get to the main storyline's universe then if
Baldur brought her
Cereza
through
is
time
Bayonetta?
to enact this plan.
So Baldur went from our main universe to a different
No,
multiverse,
I went
grabbed
to the
baby,
past.
which is apparently multiverse travel,
I guess,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
grabbed his daughter,
Uh-huh.
brought her to the present to bait
Mhm.
Bayonetta,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
Bayonetta sent her back
Yeah.
to where she
Mhm.
once came.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then confidence, girl power, got the left eye. So now Bayonetta
Mhm.
has it because Bayonetta is Cereza, but from a different multiverse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it.
That's not that complicated.
And Baldur just orchestrated all of this. I mean, yeah, okay. I
Baldur's
thought I
very
was going to be
smart.
something. I was strapping in for something more intensive. But this is
Baldur's
fine. This I
Baldur's
can
one
follow.
of those brain cells who's like, all according to my plan, I knew you would teach your young self the power of girl power and sexual empowerment, and that would make your eye open or something, and then now we're together. And we
All according to Keikaku.
all according to my Keikaku. Keikaku means plan, Bayonetta.
So, all right, so let me get back to the rocket ship that is shaped like a 500-foot tall church steeple.
Which is cool.
The steeple is the part with the bell tower, right?
It's the tall
Yes.
part.
Okay.
Here's
Yeah,
the
the
church.
pointy
Here's
part.
the
Part.
here's the church, and here's the steeple. And then look inside, and there's all the people.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, thank you, CJ.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So they shoot out into space because out there, Baldur has created a gigantic, like 1,000-foot tall statue of God.
Space Catholics.
God
Baldur,
as in the creator?
as in Jubileus,
Yeah,
the
okay.
creator.
Aren't you like not
Baldur-
supposed to make God into the likeness of something? Isn't that a thing?
Well, it's not going to just be the likeness, Fran, because Baldur implants himself in the right eye and Bayonetta in the left eye, which allows the statue to come to life and become Jubileus.
That's
all
dumb.
right?
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
But
I'm just
Not so
imagining it like a
fast.
capsule hotel where they like lie down in like a
Yeah,
bed
they
and like go
slurp
in.
them in.
yeah, it's like that. All right, not so fast, Fran. Because Jean, who had been mind controlled by Baldur, which is why she was fucking with Bayonetta, but got free after the multiverse shenanigans, which changed Bayonetta's personality, and I guess also changed Jean's personality. Although, again, I have to specify, this did not happen in our timeline. It happened in a different multiverse.
Uh-huh. But the core of the person changes across multiverses. That's what
I
I'm
guess
getting.
so.
I guess.
She comes to herself and immediately hops on that same rocket. And thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
She hops on the rocket as it's launching, and she is able to pull Bayonetta out of Jubileus's eye just as it's coming to life. So Jubileus has come into being, but is not at full power because the left eye got pulled out of her at just the right moment.
Did Cereza come back to the main timeline, or is Cereza still in?
She's
her?
got
I mean, Bayonetta is Cereza, right?
I know,
so
but-
she was always in this timeline.
Wow.
But
And
but
she-
the Cereza
she
that
just-
they put back never came back.
No, she's in her own
Okay,
timeline,
great.
which presumably things just went great for her over
Yeah,
there.
so she's
because
just not
a girl
even a
boss.
factor in this. Got it.
Cool.
Because then Baldur could be like, but I have the Cereza that I
But
can also use
Cereza
the eye."
doesn't have the eye. She will have the eye.
But she awoke to have the eye in the other timeline.
No,
so she
she
just kind of plucked it back out.
She taught her the power of girl power, and then over the 500 years in between, she used that girl power to awaken the eye, but she didn't have it as a kid. Otherwise, he could have just taken the kid and shoved it inside, which he couldn't do.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's not a factor in this current plan.
We don't have that being a factor.
Okay.
That's not part of Baldur's ingenious plan.
Because it should have been.
Uh,
That's all I'm saying.
maybe
if he wanted to be successful, he really fucked himself over there.
I mean, I guess he really thought that this was gonna work until like Jean screwed it all up. But yeah, so the creator of all things is now to life, but not fully powered. So
okay, now I got questions about Jubileus. So Jubileus made the world with light and dark. Went, whoops, that was fucked up. Let's try this again. Did it a second time, and then he just kind of peaced out and died, or
so
like
first
why
of
is
all,
he being resurrected?
Jubileus is a hot lady, so let's be clear.
Okay,
with
why?
this.
Sorry,
Be fucking clear, Fran. God is a woman.
Great,
a hot
woman.
Okay, so why did Jubileus disappear? I guess I'm confused about
I guess
that.
there's like multiple gods and stuff, right? Like there's Acer and there's Jubileus and such. After the first universe didn't go great, I guess whatever other gods were, they were like, Jubileus, you did a bad job, and they sealed her away.
Okay,
Classic
so
blaming
Baldur's
the
trying to unseal. Got it.
Yes.
So because Acer was in charge of chaos, someone's in charge of light, someone's in charge of darkness, but Jubileus was in charge of all
Queen
three of them.
Sheba is in charge of darkness.
Okay, great.
Actually?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which matters because Bayonetta is now your final boss fight. You fight the creator of all things, which is slightly weakened without Bayonetta in her eye socket. And just as things are starting to look rough, it's looking like they won't be able to make it. She and Jean are able to do a team summon to get the Queen of Inferno, Queen Sheba, to be summoned into our world, and she then beats Jubileus's ass, thus destroying her and freeing us all from having our universe destroyed.
So why was Jubileus on board with Baldur's plan to destroy the universe as it is when Jubileus got resurrected?
I mean, because she's down with the idea, like, yeah, we should probably just do the one world of light.
Was she actually down for the idea, or like this is where I'm confused? Like, what is the motivation here?
Yes, she was down for that idea. It's worth noting that Baldur's goal here is to create this new world of light, but the angels and demons do actually have like their own agency, and the demons are mostly just they're infighting for control over hell, but the angels all agreed a while ago, this 3-world thing sucks. We should get Jubileus back. She was our best mommy. We were dumb to forsake her, and we'll just start over with light only, and that'll be rad.
Yes, but that doesn't mean Jubileus is down for just getting rid of the 3 and just giving the 1.
She super is.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Yeah, because the 3 version world is a bastardization of her own creation.
But she made the 3 worlds.
No, she
made
didn't.
the 2 world.
Then where did chaos come from?
I don't know.
Because my understanding is she made lightness and darkness. That didn't go fucking well. So she remade it with light, dark, and chaos.
Light and dark didn't work, and so the other gods banished her because she did a bad job creating the universe.
Okay.
And then they made Universe 2.
Okay, so that's where I'm confused. I thought Jubileus made both. Okay.
No.
Okay, so that's why my creation origin.
Creation mythoses aren't as sexy and fun as BDSM talk.
So she made light and dark. They said, fuck you didn't do a good job. Banished her. And then those 2 were like, oh, that makes sense why chaos is the proxy. Because they're the ones who made it. Okay, this all makes sense now. That's why Earth just turned into a proxy of light and dark fighting, because they made it in the first place together. and they're like, "This will be fine" for some reason. Okay, this makes sense. I'm
I
down.
like CJ's eyes as you're like, oh, now I get it.
I mean,
Took a while.
I'm just I looked up pictures of Jubileus and there's a lot of porn. So
Yeah. Oh
This
yeah.
is why we're not supposed to look
I mean,
at pictures while we're in the middle
they-
of recording. I guess
they made a movie that is just the events of the first game, and it's
like a live action
did-
one.
no, like an
Oh.
anime.
Okay.
And they defeat Jubileus just like they do in the game, but they do it so much sexier, and it's a lot of like rope play to defeat our god creator of the universe.
I hope when I get to heaven, God is a hot woman who's into rope play. I'm not going to heaven though. So probably
Oh.
tell them.
Well, that's all right. There's a lot more rope play in hell if Bayonetta has anything to teach us.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's get into Bayonetta 2.
When
So-
does Bayonetta get a
Yeah.
haircut? Because like in
Bayonetta
Bayonetta
2.
1, I know she has the big high ponytail, but
Yeah,
like,
everyone thought it
I
looked
know that there's
stupid.
versions of her with short hair.
Yeah, that's Bayonetta 2.
She's got the short hair for Bayonetta 2,
Why?
but again, that's
It's new
the
hairstyle.
back of her hair is short, but her entire suit is still her hair.
Yeah, but like
So
that big
it's-
ponytail had a lot of hair power in there. So like, why would that go away? Is there like a canon reason or just character design?
Oh yeah, just
Which
characters.
made a new. I mean, have you seen the new Bayonetta design for Bayonetta 3?
I have not.
She's got like
she's got
big lolly
pigtails.
pigtails. Yeah,
yeah,
Like the big curly ones.
yeah, but like really
like
big.
the big braided twisted ones. Yeah,
Oh,
She has a
Interesting.
lot of hair.
it's
people
hot.
people didn't like the first design because they thought the top hair looked stupid, and then
Oh.
the second one came out, and then she had really like short hair, and people didn't like that because they thought that looked stupid. So they're
I
like,
liked that.
so they're like, fine, fuck it, we'll do big like anime like schoolgirl hair, and everyone was like, yes, yes, the
Yeah.
third time was the charm. You did it, Ethan. I want to know more about this hot mama.
she's dead.
It's-
Jubileus died, right?
that hot mama
That hot
is
mama's
defeated.
dead.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not big
Bayonetta's
on.
not a hot mama. The daughter was her, so she's not a mama.
You're right. She's
That-
not a MILF at all, friend.
right.
You
Eh.
realize the twist. She's not a MILF. She's
Turns out
just
she's not a
regular-
MILF.
She's
She's
just
just a normal
regular cougar.
dominatrix. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a mama in that sense. She's the mama in the sense that when she puts your heel on your back, you say, "Mommy, please, harder, mommy."
I don't. That's actually really gross.
No.
But
I don't
that's-
like the shift of the internet to the mommy daddy stuff.
Yeah, I don't either.
appreciated the shift.
Especially because when I was younger, my mom would like, I hated taking medicine or like getting eye drops or like anything. So my mom did have to like sit on me and like pry my mouth open like a cat and then shove medicine down my throat.
And would you say, "Mommy, no, mommy, please"?
No, I
Nope,
would.
we're
I
not
would-
doing
I
this.
would scream and shout.
This is the episode to do this. We're
I
getting
don't-
it all. We're
nope.
getting it out.
Nope, I don't want it.
I'm saying
like
as a
it.
person who did have their mom sit on them to literally take their medicine, I did not gain that fetish. It's weird.
As someone whose
Oh,
mother is a
God.
doctor, I also did not gain this fetish.
Now
Okay.
the rocking horse thing. That's
I actually,
cool.
yeah, that's weird.
That's awesome, Fran.
It's fine.
Fran, I know it's hard for you because you don't have balls, so you don't know what
Don't have
balls
balls.
feel like, but there's something
would
about
hurt.
leather on balls that really
It would hurt.
would
Sounds
hurt.
like it gets sweaty.
It is.
our
That's
balls
why you,
real
that's
warm?
why you
I'm-
that's
And
why you
leather's not
have
very breathable.
that's why you put baby powder on it.
That's why
It
you make it out
absorbs
of
the
hair
moisture.
instead of leather.
Talcum powder on your balls into the suit.
All right,
Sounds
I'm learning a
uncomfortable.
lot. I'm learning a lot about my friends, but I'd rather learn more about Bayonetta. So we're gonna get into Bayonetta 2.
I get into
So-
Bayonetta, dude.
Yeah. If we could have like a ticker for like the number of times you'll say that
I'm
joke.
not doing that, but yeah. Maybe stop setting me up and I'll stop doing it. He's thinking carefully about the next words he's gonna do. Can't say come, can't say in, can't say
No, I'm
probably.
I'm thinking about how to fit those in as often as possible.
Oh, I'm thinking
I'll
about
fit
how to
that
fit it in as
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Jean and Bayonetta are hanging out. They're going Christmas shopping. They're friends again.
Yay.
All right?
How does Christmas work in this world?
It's regular. It's
It's regular
Was
Christmas.
there a Christ in this world?
There's no Christ in Christmas anymore anyway, France. The capitalists got to it.
Okay.
Oh, we got it in.
Yeah.
We fit it in here. All right.
We did it.
All right.
Fuck
Capitalism
you,
is evil.
capitalism.
John and Bayonetta are Christmas shopping. Some angels come out to give them a hard time because this just kind of happens continually to them. But this time, something goes wrong. Bayonetta summons a gigantic hair demon Godzilla monster like she normally does.
Yep.
But after it kills all of the angels, it goes on a rampage and slaps Jean's soul right out of her body. She's dead.
Oh, that's not good.
Whoops. Whoopsie, I
But-
killed my bestie. That
Yeah,
happens
I mean,
sometimes.
That happens. So don't worry about it, because it turns out there's a portal to hell in this place called the Sacred Mountain Fimbulventer. And let's just go there. We'll go into hell and we'll get Jean's soul back in time for Christmas.
Where did
What?
that word come from? What?
It's a-
Fimbulventer?
Fimbulventer.
Is-
It's Norwegian. But
It's a
also
Norse
We're doing Norse stuff this time.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first game
In
was all
time for
about
Christmas.
killing. The first game was all about fighting angels, and now we're fighting devils. And
Okay.
it was always weird to me when they had like a portal to hell in media, because it's like people would just be there all the time. You'd constantly be like, oh, I'm trying to get my grandpa back or whatever, so I'm just gonna pop into hell and like it wouldn't work all the time, but there'd definitely be people trying it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very weird. They just like, it's just sort of an aside. Like one of her demon friend guys is just like, yeah, well, there is a portal to hell that the humans haven't found yet on Fimbulventer.
You didn't talk about that guy at all. So you
I
get
didn't
guns.
talk about that guy.
You get guns as you go, right? Like you can upgrade your guns and get new ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a guy who hangs out. He's a demon hunter, but he also is from hell, and he takes these demons and he turns them into weapons for you. Turns them into guns.
Oh, okay.
And this guy's
That's fun.
just super cool, and he's like,
He sounds
"Bayonetta,
really cool.
looks like you could use a little upgrade to your firepower." And you get new guns because you get these golden records, and then he plays the records in hell, and it attracts certain kinds of demons. And then
Mhm.
once he's attracted them, he kills them and turns them into guns for you. So I think his bar is named the Gates of Hell, and you can just like teleport to it whenever. And
Cool.
then and he like offers you cool stuff. He sells you candy. You suck on lollipops to get health back, because of course, you do. Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's just a cool he's a cool dude. I don't remember his
They-
name, but I love him.
They do a lot of like, pretty much all of their lines between one another are sexual flirtation.
Yeah. They never
Uh,
bang though, or do they? If
Or
you
do
read
they?
my
It's
fan
not on
fiction,
screen.
you will see that they actually have a torrid love affair.
And you can read that fan fiction in a series of tweets at Spices
Yeah,
With.
That's Spices With. Yeah, I tweeted out 120 characters at a time or whatever it is.
Mhm. 240
Oh.
these days since the update, right?
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
Elon.
you, Daddy Musk.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get back to Fimbulventer.
Sorry.
Why is that? That's just, you're laughing at another culture's language, Fran. That's so rude. It's Fimbulventer. From the Norse word.
I'm just real
Fimble.
giggly and blushy this whole episode, so it just doesn't take much to set me off
very
here.
that's very fair.
You're all
So-
a titter.
She heads to Fimbulventer, and there as she's climbing the mountain, she meets this weird little boy named Loki.
Oh, we are in Norse
and-
mythology. All right.
We are.
Hmm.
And he seems to have like these special powers, but there is also this masked Lumen Sage who is out there trying to kill him. I thought there were no more Lumen Sages. You're correct.
So he's not a Lumen Sage?
No, he is, but there's
Oh.
no more Lumen Sages.
Oh, okay, sure.
Sure.
All right. So they get to the portal. They're being attacked by this guy multiple times. And the Lumen Sage comes at them again. And there is also this fancy holy boy named Lofter there. And they're there to stop him. And Lofter tells Bayonetta, like, you're on the wrong side of this. You should be helping me destroy Loki.
Why does this sound like canvassing? Sorry.
Yeah, I feel that. And he then shows Bayonetta a vision from the past.
Oh.
The actual past or the multiverse past?
Fran, don't get caught up in multiverse theory. Sometimes things just happen and
That's how time traveling works in this game, though.
Time travel. Okay, well,
It's a
looking
all
at the past,
children we've met in this game are from the past.
Looking at the past is not
so for all
time
I
travel,
know-
Fran. It's just remembering things.
Okay. Well, for all I know, this little child Loki turns out it's fucking Balder or some bullshit.
I don't know. We haven't got to that point yet. I'm excited. I haven't played this game. I've only played the first one, so I'm excited to see what happens.
We're gonna find some things out. It's a roller coaster.
Oh my god.
Sorry, flashback.
Bayonetta is having this flashback Lofter has given her, and it turns out her dad, Balder, wasn't responsible for the witch hunts. In fact, as they were starting, he went to where Rosa was in prison to try and save her from being killed. And then, oh my god, the kid Loki came out of nowhere and killed Bayonetta's mom.
Okay, hold on. Pause. How do we know this is truthful? Okay, I exist on today's internet.
Vision of the
I have lateral reading skills. I would need, if I saw this, it'd be like, how? Okay,
past vision.
I'm just being told, but from whose mystical past vision? How does she know? Like, it's not her memory, right? Whose memory? Like, false narrator.
I can't believe you, Fran. I
can't be real.
Fran.
I don't know. I don't trust it.
We'll see about your
Also, it's
lack of
a literal hell portal with demons in it that are known tricksters, but you know.
Well, Lofter has a very
how can I trust this Lofter?
He has a holy look with him, and he's with the masked Lumen Sage. So
how do I know he doesn't just have
clearly the good guy?
How do I know he doesn't just have a podcast where he smokes a cigar every week?
What?
Oh, I like that.
Are you saying
Lofter Rogan? Yeah.
Are you gonna say that the Joe Rogan podcast, he's actually a demon?
Oh, I thought the smoke cigar guy was Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, that guy.
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
actually is he's in hell now, though. He's in hell for real.
He's in hell for real. Yeah, I was imagining, though, like Joe Rogan just be like, yeah, Jimmy, could you pull up a memory from their past of who actually killed their mom?
We can't talk shit on the Joe Rogan podcast on our podcast. He'll finish us. He'll end us.
Will he step on us with some high-heeled boots and crush our
I would love to see Joe Rogan stepping on some guys in high-heeled boots.
Somebody put that in an AI art generator.
Here it is on screen now.
All right. So Bayonetta has seen this vision, and she's kind of confused. She's actually kind of like Fran. She's not sure what to believe. But at this moment, Loki is able to shove them aside, and he opens up the portal into Inferno on the mountain and rushes in, and Bayonetta follows with him. This is like most of the game is taking place in hell here, and I'm also going to talk almost nothing about it because it's just like
fighting monsters.
Yeah.
There's just there's a bunch of demons. They all want to be Queen of Hell, and they all are giving Bayonetta a hard time when she's trying to just get her friend's soul back.
Are the demons in hell all very effeminate?
Pretty much all of the lead demons in hell are female.
Okay.
They usually have like a sexy version and a more monstery version. So there's, I think, Bale sometimes looks like a sexy lady, but also looks like a giant toad.
Oh, okay.
but I guess most of them are sexy. You know, like the demoness that Bayonetta has her pact with is Madame Butterfly, and she always has that those heels on, what for stepping on naughty boys. So we go through all of these demon shenanigans, and we're able to save Jean's soul.
Good.
But in the background, Snap, the Lumen Sage, he followed them into hell to kill Loki.
Who let him in?
And he jumped in right behind them and was able to make it in. And Mega Snap, the Lumen Sage, it's Balder.
That's the one that's Balder.
But it's a younger, hotter Balder.
Oh, hell yeah.
How hot?
Daddy's home.
He's honestly probably your type, Fran. Based on your anime.
Okay. Verify
He's the kind of hot like book smart boy that you would see in one of your yaoi based animes.
I do like book smart yaoi boys. Hold on.
I think the thing Fran reads are called doujins.
No.
I'm pretty
not
sure.
dojins.
Dojins.
Stuff I read are original stories.
Wow, Fran
they're
knows
not
what they're
fan
called.
made.
It's looking bad for Loki. Balder's got him on the ropes. And
Why do I care about Loki?
Because he's a cute little kid.
Because he's a little
and
boy.
Nice.
He's a
That's
little
supposedly
lad.
that possibly might have killed your mom.
That possibly killed the mom.
But
But let's find out, because at the last moment before Balder is able to kill Loki, Loki shoots both he and Bayonetta 500 years into the past to save himself.
Whoa.
Which I guess would also be into a different multiverse.
Yep, see?
past,
Fucking multiverse
but-
time travel bullshit in this game too. All right.
All right. So there they see that it wasn't Loki killing her mom at all. It was his twin brother, Lofter.
Oh, classic.
Why did
Twin brother.
Lofter grow up and Loki didn't? I don't know. But that happened that way.
Okay. So are Loki and Lopter, like, are they in demon side or angel side, or are they just like in between?
Fran, let me give you a bit of a shocker here. Loki and Lofter are two halves of the chaos god Acer, the one who gave
from
his
before.
eyes of the world to mortals.
Mm,
As soon as he did that, he split in half.
classic.
And his evil half, Lofter, was immediately like, oh, this was a mistake. I want those back.
Great.
Whoops.
That guy just tore himself all to pieces.
Well, he's trying to be helpful. And sometimes when
trying to
people
be
try to be
helpful.
helpful, they end up like tearing yourself down on accident and sacrificing your own
And then
well-being.
just kind of collecting all of the parts of yourself that didn't actually want to do that, collect together into one being who's like, oh, I should undo that. Oopsie.
Oops.
So Lofter has been controlling like all of the bad stuff that has happened in the series behind the scenes.
Whoa.
So he
He's-
helped Balder play 5D chess in this situation.
He is Baldur's playing 5D chess, and Lofter is playing interdimensional 5D chess with time travel.
Wow.
Okay.
And so Lofter is actually the one who like set up for the witch hunts to happen. He has set up like all of these situations, because if he is able to get both of the eyes and Loki's powers into himself, he will become the complete Acer once again. And this is what he wants to do.
Okay.
So they all get shunted back out into our time,
Mhm.
where Lofter has also been on the case, and he has grabbed Loki while these two were in their backwards time travel thing.
Mhm.
And he is ready to destroy Loki, and he's like, Balder, how about you do it, because this is the little boy who killed your love, and I've been manipulating you this whole time with that story. But
Mhm.
at this moment, Balder has figured it out, and so he works with Bayonetta to free Loki and fight against Lofter.
Okay.
Lofter, it turns out, is super OP. He beats the crap out of everybody. He sucks up Loki's power, and he grabs both of the eyes, and he's starting the process of becoming the one full true being.
Hold on. I thought the eyes were the person who embodies the
I don't know, he
the spirit
sucked
or
the
whatever.
magic out. Just like he sucked the magic out of Loki, he sucked the magic out of the eye people.
Balder and Bayonetta, so they're
Out of
not
Balder and Bayonetta.
magic fighting people anymore, because then that makes it real hard to actually.
The eyes don't.
I mean,
the eyes didn't give them any like superpowers. They just
Okay.
were like that. Like
They
all
just-
the
yeah,
witches, all the witches don't have the eye in them, but they are witches. You know that
Okay.
have all the same powers. Like John.
Okay.
things look really bad, but I don't know how to explain this because it's just a thing.
Okay.
So, Lofter took all of Loki's powers
Mhm.
except for one for some reason,
Okay.
because Loki has the power of nothingness.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Like-
so
Like some people have the power of stuff, but Loki has the power of nothing. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. And so Loki uses this power that apparently Lofter didn't even care about to
it's
destroy
nothing.
both of these eyes of the world. Like, because apparently his power is good enough to just like destroy the god being eye power.
Well,
Yeah.
it's his power is
kind of.
it's his eyes. Also,
It's his eye. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
the power levels match. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And we have a bunch of good speeches about how humans don't need the eyes and they'll forge their own destiny without them.
Yeah, humans.
I don't know about
Free
that,
will
considering the perception of reality via the eyes is what makes reality reality. But all right, sure.
Go for it.
I again, I don't know what to tell you.
Kind of feels like
here.
you're
I'm
breaking
just-
physics a little bit with all that, but sure.
I got him.
I mean, we've got leather suits made of hair, so I feel like physics went out the window a while
That's
ago.
magic.
I guess this is just good old fashioned Loki magic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Balder and Bayonetta, you have a big, awesome fight where you work together to defeat Lofter, and you kill him. You destroy his
Great.
body,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah,
But
definitely destroyed.
Lofter, he's an eternal god spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, half
so-
of one.
He's an eternal god spirit who is half of an eternal god spirit. I think it's like the Greek rules where Zeus loses his balls into the ocean and that becomes a different god who's their own fully fledged being. It's
Happens.
like that.
Okay.
So he's this eternal god spirit, and he's like, I will just be reincarnated, and then I'll go through the multiverse and I'll fuck with you guys across all the different multiverses, and it will all work out in my favor.
Okay.
And at this point, Balder says, I won't let you do this. And he leaps forward before Lofter's spirit is able to go into a different multiverse and absorbs the evil soul into himself.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki's like, wait, you can't do that. It's going to make you an evil guy who will want to bring Jubileus back or some shit like that. And he's like, no, I must do it if it's to protect the world and my beloved daughter.
Aw.
And so Balder is looking at he's getting sucked back into time, back to his proper timeline,
Uh-huh.
and now that he's done this. And we need to get back a little more into the Bayonetta spirit, which is why we end this whole big cosmic thing with Balder saying, Bayonetta, before I go, could you please, one more time, just call me Daddy.
Oh,
No.
Daddy.
That's not real.
And then,
The game ends with, Daddy! Daddy!
No.
Daddy, oh, Daddy, Daddy, don't be evil, Daddy.
So the
No, pause. So the Balder that sucked up the evil got sent back to his timeline. Is that the same Balder that we had in game 1? Or is the game 1 Balder evil because when your core essence changes in multiverses, it changes across the multiverses?
What a good question, Fran. I don't know how to answer that for you.
Okay.
He sucks up evil, which is why he was an evil guy in the first game.
Yeah.
But also he is getting sent back into time, and we have established that getting sent back into time doesn't affect this timeline. It affects the multiverse.
But it also does affect the core being of the person across the multiverses. Okay.
Sure.
So yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, maybe the third game will answer our questions.
It won't. Well.
So what
do you think, Fran? Are you awakened sexually via this?
No, I am not.
Do you have maybe a desire to end your character's arc by just shouting out, "Daddy, Daddy"?
Nope.
Please no. Like I don't like the development of the internet to this point.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I would appreciate it if you stepped on that subscribe button with high heels and really ground that like and rating and if you took the
give me a 5-star climax.
Yeah.
Make that bell ring until it explodes.
Yeah, there we go. And make sure to tell everyone about us because hey, that's our podcast. We thank you guys. Thank you, daddies.
Maybe don't
and
start
mommies
them
for
with
listening.
this episode.
Thanks.
Maybe start them on a different episode.
Thanks for listening to us again. We sometimes things that are difficult and hard are worth it because it's all about the payoff. So we make this for you as a way to not have to get a boner and play a video game for 40 hours to get the whole story of Bayonetta. Although if you
things that are hard are always worth it.
Yeah. But we have a few people to thank as well, like Galestorm Kitsune, who does all of our channel art, and you should definitely check her out on Twitter because she makes some cool art there as well. We also have Apaja for our intro and outro songs, which slap. And you know what? I'm gonna thank Fran for this one because you stepped out of your comfort zone to get educated about sexy nuns. Trooper. You did it. In the Switch ports of the game, you can dress up like Princess Peach and
or Zelda.
What? Are you serious? Is this actually like costumes you can download?
Yeah,
yeah. You can be.
You can
Peach,
have different.
You can be Link. I think you can be Samus, if I remember right.
Well, that one at least makes sense. Zero Suit Samus.
Anyway,
that would make sense.
No, I think it's the other one. I think you super armor Samus.
It's
that's fun.
It's all very hot and sexy, and you should check it out and check out us on our YouTube channel. YouTube has tags now. We are at Spices With on YouTube and Twitter now. Amazing. And check out our stream, twitch.tv/cookingwithspices, where we stream video games and do other fun stuff. And I think that's going to do it for this week. We're back on.
I'm going to do it.
Oh my God, Ethan, I can't believe you said that. We're back on a bi-weekly schedule. So make sure to check out the rest of the episodes, check out the future episodes, follow along. I'm going to close it out now. So
I'm going to close it out now.
Nice. My name has been CJ.
I've been Ethan.
And I've been Fran.
And I don't have a mommy fetish, internet. So
just
don't.
A daddy fetish.
Yeah.